Now, the Liberty Fighters Network, remember them? They successfully challenged government's lockdown regulations in the North Gauteng High Court. Government, of course, is appealing that ruling. Well, now that network has created a permit to legally ignore the lockdown. The organisation says this is a way of protesting against what it calls government's refusal to acknowledge the lockdown regulations are no longer in force. It claims government has been treating its citizens like children and using dodgy COVID-19 figures to deliberately create fear. Well, I'm joined by Liberty Fighters Network President Reino de Beer. Good evening. Thank you very much for your time. You challenged the lockdown regulations in court. Government, of course, is appealing that. I'm just wondering why you're going this rogue route, essentially advocating that people defy the regulations.
Number one, thank you for inviting me again. Number one, it's common cause actually that there's clearly a problem with the lockdown regulations, and people had to wanted to have good news, and we finally found it in the sense that we've received the judgment today. You're the first one that have the time to actually know this. We have been successful in opposing the application for leave to appeal on the main grounds, the access to movement and the ability to open a business, the freedom of religion, etc., etc. Those, the court said that the minister will not have granting the right to appeal. And but overall, the court did grant the minister leave to appeal in the sense of the rest of the regulations, so that the Supreme Court of Appeal can address that. So what we've done with the permit issuing turned out to be successful, because we've basically put everyone on the tip that something needs to be done immediately. With,
but I don't understand. I don't understand why you are advocating that people actually print out this permit, which actually seems to make a bit of a mockery of government's very real attempts to try and regulate and control the spread of this disease, when you are underway with a legal process. And we all know that when an appeal is underway, the judgment is suspended. So for me, you've got two parallel processes underway. And just reading the tone of your statements, I'm going to just read it out for our viewers. If any of its supporters bearing its permit should be arrested, such supporter will be regarded as a political prisoner, and LFN will immediately alert the UN, the AU, SADC, Amnesty International, the USA and other international bodies. It will mobilize all its supporters who fear arrest to find refuge in embassies and consulates of foreign countries. Mr. de Beer, we are not at war. This is inflammatory, this sort of thing, and I would argue highly irresponsible in the context we are in.
Oh, definitely not. We are fed up as the people by this government who is incompetent to look after our human rights. It's now time that the people must realize that there's something wrong with the COVID-19 disease. Read our papers and you will see...
What's wrong with the COVID-19 disease? What is wrong with COVID-19? No, but you're saying there's something wrong, so tell us what is wrong.
It's a scam.
Okay, so you're saying COVID-19 does not exist?
Wake up, people. It's a scam.
Do you know anyone who has died from COVID-19? Are you aware of the hospitals that are overburdened right now as we speak? Have you been to any of those hospitals?
Give us the names of the people who have died.
I can give you one, Madeleine van Wyk. The Falkvein, mother and father. There are plenty of names.
Photo of the virus.
I tell you what, we've got a whole program. We've got a whole program on the people that have died in South Africa. 500,000 people globally. And listen, there's something called excess deaths. And what that does, it looks at the normal levels.
You've already made up your mind. I think we are wasting our time.
Okay, perhaps you don't want to engage.
Please, because I'm not interested in your propaganda. Thank you.
How many Can I ask you, how many people do you represent? How many people in the Liberty Fighters Network?
Thousands, yes.
How many thousands exactly?
101,023 people, yes. What does it matter?
I'm just curious.
What does it matter?
And how many people have downloaded your permits, sir?
I'm not open for your discussion in terms of spreading propaganda. You are making the people dumb. That is what is currently happening. The news, the mainstream media in this country is spreading false news, and you must stop doing that.
Okay, so what false news are we spreading, sir?
About the COVID-19.
Give me one example of what. So what is false about the message?
Number one, there wasn't even an ICD-10 code existing for COVID-19 by the 1st of April. How could this government have declared a national state of disaster based on no evidence that there was a COVID-19 cases? Tell me that, because the minister have...
Are you a scientist, sir? Are you a scientist? Have you gone into the science of this? No, but I've spoken to a lot of people, and a lot of highly regarded scientific people.
We know that... We know that the mainstream media all over the world is pushing this COVID-19 crap into the faces of the people. I challenge this government to arrest me for defying them. I will not bow to this government to keep on lying to the people, spreading false news and fake news through mainstream media. Okay?
Okay.
I challenge this government. Please arrest me. I will keep on telling the truth, and I will not stop.
Reino de Beer, thank you very much for your time. That's Reino de Beer of the Liberty Fighters Network.